Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah. We've got a great show for you today. Spending a lot of time highlighting local businesses in the area, and we're going to start out with one that certainly hobbyists are going to love. We're talking to Michael and Amber Sagal, who are with Trax Hobbies, and I'm glad to see you today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Not only with Trax Hobbies, but owners of Trax Hobbies. So wanted to make sure we got that in there. But boy, I'm so excited to chat with you. Let's first talk about, I think there's a few hints that we've got throughout the room here, but what exactly do you do?
Yeah, so Trax Hobbies is a new retail hobby store, full-line hobby store featuring that which you would expect from a hobby store, but we also specialize in static and remote control vehicles. But what makes us unique is that we're also a destination store. And by that I mean that we have activity centers and multiple RC raceways where customers can come and enjoy many of the products that we sell in our store.
Oh, how nice.
And we're also completely family friendly, so we're excited to have hobbyists of all ages.
Oh, that's really nice to know. So you can actually, it's a retail setting, but it's also a place to go and enjoy some of these products.
Yes.
And actually interact.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. And you mentioned that it's kind of a family-oriented atmosphere or business. Elaborate on that a little, if you would.
Sure. Well, Michael's been into RC since his childhood, but as a family, we've always found it a little difficult to participate in the activity alongside of him. So at Trax Hobbies, we're really excited to kind of build in elements that appeal to everyone. So we will be renting cars, so you can bring your friends in to try us out. We'll host a lot of activities like training classes and birthday parties, just a whole slew of activities for the entire family.
That sounds like fun. Now, I can see some really cool products that you've got with you today, and there's one gigantic product that you've got behind you in case you missed it. What are some of the most interesting or exciting products that you carry?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we carry a wide variety of hobby products. And some of the products that we're most excited about include this Tamiya futuristic slot car racing track. The company is Tamiya, and what's really interesting about this is that it can engage even the youngest of children. They can build the cars, tune the cars, and upgrade them and race them in our store on this track. And because of the build mechanics and the physics involved in keeping the cars on the track, it's really a good STEM-centered activity.
And of course, I'm drawn, I'm gonna lean all the way in, I'm drawn to this pink one here.
Yes.
I think this is the car that I would be best suited in. What do you think? Lots of cute choices here. I'm sure I'm not supposed to call them cute. Cool
But as you can
choices.
see-
No, that's okay. It's for everybody, right?
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
And there's a wide variety. We have products for all ages and demographics, from the small slot cars that we just discussed to this giant scale low Z 1/5 scale RC truck that runs on gasoline from the gas
Oh
station.
my goodness,
And
really?
can go reach speeds of excess of 50, 60 miles per hour.
Wow.
All the way down to the smallest of remote control electric cars, like this little silver Porsche, which is electric powered and fully operational.
Whoa.
And can also reach speeds up to upwards of 50 miles an hour.
Wow, that's
So we-
incredible.
So we have lots of different types of vehicles, including airplanes and drones. And with new technologies like GPS, some of our drones and our airplanes not only will take off for you, but they will hover and land for you.
That is so much fun. Wow. So we got just a little bit of time left, but I want to know how you really got started in this business.
So as Amber had mentioned, I've been a hobbyist since I was a young child. And later in my career, having come out of the global IT industry, where I had the opportunity to travel all over the world, I always found real interesting, rare, and exciting products all over the world that I got interested in. And then with Trax Hobbies as a business, I wanted to be able to bring in those products to the store so that new generations could explore those products, learn from them, and really get the kind of fun that I had throughout my childhood.
Wow. Well, it was lots of fun chatting with you, and I enjoy all of this very much. We're going to go to break, and I'll find out if I can get this big one in pink. So thanks so much for being here, Michael and Amber Sagal with Trax Hobbies. Again, they're off Todd Drive, so go take a look. Fabulous retail store and an opportunity to play for the whole family. We'll be right back with Talk of the Town. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I am going to do a little spotlight on a local business now. This is Kyle Ballwig, the co-owner and president of Clear Vision Cleaning. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to chat a little bit about some other aspects of your business, but first I want to know a little bit about the cleaning side. What do you guys work on? What's your specialty?
We specialize in both residential and commercial window cleaning, pressure washing, and gutter cleaning services. The pressure washing services, within that silo, so to speak, service silo, we offer an array of different services based off of that. Concrete cleaning, deck cleaning, cleaning siding, cleaning roofs. So, specifically talking about the pressure washing, it can morph into many different realms in which it allows us to help people out.
Wow. Well, it's one of those things that, we so often think of the inside of our homes and the cleaning and care of, but lots of cleaning and maintenance that needs to take place on the outside as well, especially after a long winter here in Wisconsin.
There certainly is. We do have the seasons, and that brings about a bunch of different climates, and it's usually not until people get around to their spring cleaning that they get outside, maybe start to look at their landscaping and stuff like that, and notice that there's some exterior cleaning that should probably be taking place as well. And it also, your home, your property, whether it's residential or commercial, a lot of times is one of your largest assets. So spending a little bit of money maintaining that is definitely a good idea ongoing.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to enjoy that space, that little bit of time we have in the summer when you get outside, so you want a clean area. Let's talk a little bit now about the employment side of things. So obviously it probably takes more than one to get all these homes cleaned.
It does.
Let's first take a little bit of a look on retaining employees. Now, for a business that's growing, that's got to be key.
Yeah, it certainly is. It is the key if you want to continue growing a business. Early on, you might be able to see some growth and maintain that on your own, but getting a team of people around you is really the key in growing a business. And the first thing that I've learned to look at is company culture. Company culture, I have found out, trumps everything else as it relates to retaining good employees. People are, especially in a service business like mine, people are everything. And keeping those people and finding good people is everything. Some of the things that we do at Clear Vision that's evolved over time to promote company culture is we try to be very open with company goals. Maybe some of those benchmarks, how many new clients this month, what's our revenue goal this month. A lot of that stuff gets shared throughout the entire company to try to create more of a team and a family atmosphere so that everyone knows exactly where we're headed and what our goals are. Usually every year we do a company outing. Last winter, I think we invited everyone's family, all the employees' families, to Madison Capitals hockey game. The year before that, I surprised the guys and they all showed up to work in the morning, and we went off to Apocalypse Paintball and did some paintballing. We grill out once in a while, and the thing that I learned this year that was cool, at the end of this was earlier in the spring, at the end of the day I walk out in the shop and there's a basketball hoop. And where did that come from? Well, one of the guys, long story short, one of the crews, it was, I believe, Wanakee's garage sale weekend or week, and they drove by a garage sale at the end of the day that had a hoop, so they spent $25 or $30 and we have a basketball hoop back at our shop. And I tell you that that $25 asset that the company didn't even actually pay for, has been the best investment this year. I'll have guys come back after work, clock out, and spend up to 2 hours there.
Wow.
playing
sounds
pickup
like-
basketball, horse, whatever the case is. So
What a great family atmosphere. I think that's really nice that you've taken the opportunity to consider your employees and retaining them, and that's going to pay off for the clients as well. So thanks
Absolutely.
for sharing that with us. This is Kyle Ballwig, the owner of Clear Vision Cleaning. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We're going to get a little bit of an inside look at CrossFit as the CrossFit Games are coming to Wisconsin. We're going to learn a little bit about that in just a minute. First, I want to introduce you to Megan Zeckel, who's one of the owners of CrossFit Fort Atkinson. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So glad to chat with you. Now, let's get into a little bit of some of the gym's background
Yeah.
before we talk about the CrossFit Games. What sort of inspired you to open the gym?
Well, we opened the gym in 2012, and to be honest, CrossFit wasn't something very well known at that point. My brother-in-law he kind of traveled around and did his certifications, and we were kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? And so he brought it back to us and was able to train a handful of us in an old warehouse that we originally started in. And what ended up happening is we have kids at home, so it turned into kind of our social thing where we had our friends come, we started working out together, and it just became more and more. We had more and more people interested in it. And so my husband, with two other good friends of ours, decided, you know what, let's try this out and let's open up a gym and see how many people we can help. And it was a blessing. We now, my husband and I have now owned the gym for the last couple of years. That we ended up buying out the guys, but there's still an active part in the community, and it's just nice to see how far it's come and how many people we have.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great story, too, of sort of how that got started,
Yeah.
really by your own sort of passion
Yeah.
in learning this kind of sport or fitness activity. And now, fast forward to your goals as owners,
Yeah.
what do you sort of see for yourself? What do you hope to accomplish?
Our goals, it's nice because Jeb and I are on kind of two different sides of the spectrum. He is an athlete. He's always been one that wants to do something else and he wants to compete. And for me, it was never like that. I never was a fitness guru. I was more, I just want to do something to be healthy. I want to do something with my husband. I want to have something that my kids can be around and see as a lifestyle. And so for us, it's more how many people can we help in our community and how many people can we, because working out seems to be a very daunting task to a lot of people, and there's a very negative association for a lot of people to it. And so for us, we just want to see how many people we can help make that into a positive thing for them and their family.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked before about the incredible age range that you work with
Yeah.
in fitness levels. So if you don't think CrossFit is for you, you're absolutely not right. It's really for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
And I want to touch on the CrossFit Games because the CrossFit Games are coming to Wisconsin. This is incredible.
it
So what does
is.
that really mean to you?
Well, the CrossFit Games have been held ever since they started. They have been held in California, and they are stirring up the pot and they're bringing it to Madison. And which is insane. I mean, it's the only time they've moved it. So I think all of Wisconsin is now, even the Midwest, is just excited to bring this and share this love of this fitness to our community. So for us and for our members, it's just to bring more excitement because it was kind of out of reach for a lot of us to go to California. Now it's sitting in our back door, and so we have a lot of people that it'll start to make more sense and to see, okay, look at all these people, and look at all these people that have the same interest or have a same goal or just want to teach themselves a better fitness and life journey for them and their families.
Yeah, really well said. And I want to make sure we touch on, too, before we go, that your husband is an athlete, and he's got sort of a special connection to the games. Talk to us about that.
He does, yeah. He's been going after this for quite some time. It's been his goal. He always knew he wanted to be something more, something greater, had potential for stuff. And so for the last 6 years, he's really driven himself to work up to this opportunity. So for the CrossFit Games, in order to make it, you got to go through a handful of different levels to actually make it there. For him, it would be starting the open into kind of the lead into the CrossFit Games. He had to be the top for his athlete division. It's 40 to 45, and so for him, he had to be top 200 in the world. And then from there, he went to a qualifier. He had to make top 20 of those men in the world to actually go to the games. And so he did that, and now he'll be headed to the games to represent Wisconsin, which is huge.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
And you said before we got started, he's the only one in Wisconsin.
As of
that
now,
is
yeah,
doing
he's the
this.
only one in Wisconsin that's representing our state.
Really incredible.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you and your husband and the success of CrossFit
Thank
Fort
you.
Atkinson. We're excited to really bring awareness, like you said,
Yep.
to the sport and let people know that it's really for everybody. So
Yep.
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Again, this is Megan Zeckel with CrossFit Fort Atkinson, and we're going to be back with more Talk of the Town right after the break. Stick around. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are continuing our theme here to check in with and spotlight some local businesses in the area. You may not know this one's local. It's called Overhead Door Company of Madison, and I'm joined by the general manager, John Gradle, and I'm glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. So we're going to talk a little bit about garage door maintenance, maybe give you some tips. I want to share with viewers at home, too, that this is actually really a family business.
Yes, yep, third generation. My brother-in-law and I are taking over, well, eventually taking over, but
Yeah.
yep.
So you're part of the family, taking it over, and obviously have been in this business probably since you were probably even a little bit of a little kid, kind of coming up in it. But we're going to focus on the maintenance component today. And I think that'll be a fun topic for folks because it's one thing that you don't think about a whole lot. So
Most people don't, not until they actually need it.
Actually, you have to, yeah. So talk to us a little bit about general maintenance requirements. What should we
So-
expect?
The first thing you really need to check semi-annually, your garage door function, it goes up and down. Make sure that the rollers and the hinges are lubricated properly and that the door balances as it's going up and down.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I think would be nerve-wracking for somebody is if your garage door doesn't close, right?
Yeah.
So then you're stuck with it open or stuck with it partially open.
Right.
What do you recommend in that case?
The first thing that we tell people to check, because this is one of the biggest issues with garage door function, when the door barely comes down, it's usually your photo eyes down at the bottom of the door.
Oh, okay.
It's a safety feature so that the door doesn't come down and close on something or animal or a small child,
Sure.
God forbid. So just check the alignment on those, especially in the wintertime. Road salt is a big problem with these. The salt will dry up and it'll affect the laser beam that goes across those photo eyes. So
Okay. So
clean
that's
those off.
essentially, there is a safety mechanism, of
Right.
course, for something blocking the ability of it to close, but also it needs to be possibly clear of debris and appropriately aligned. Otherwise, we could have that issue.
otherwise your door won't come down.
Otherwise, you're stuck open. Okay, and we don't want that, especially in the winter. We want to keep that heat in,
Yep.
and maybe in the summer, keep the cool in. What about if we have the opposite problem?
The opposite problem is usually an issue with the springs. So the door, you go to open your door, it'll come up 3 or 4 inches and stop.
Sure.
And then go right back down. This is the other big thing that people call in to talk to us about. So your springs are located above the header of the garage door. There's a big black coil that runs across the entire width, basically.
Okay.
One of those springs could have a gap, 2 to 3 inch gap on one end, and that would signify that the spring has broke and you do need us to come out and fix it for you.
Bummer, but good to know,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a tough one. You don't want to be stuck, especially if you need to get somewhere. You don't want to be stuck in your garage.
And that's the biggest thing is that in the garage doors don't act up until it's extreme weather. So extreme heat,
sure.
extreme cold, one of those two.
So you know when you're getting phone calls. It's, you know when it's a hot day or a real
Really
cold
hot,
day.
really cold, it's going to be a long
That's
one.
your busy day. Oh, wow. Okay, let's, another problem you might have at home is your remote not working. What is
Yep.
that usually caused by?
Generally speaking, remotes are battery operated. So if you can check the function of the battery, that's usually the biggest concern when people can't. Oh, my garage door, it won't open. It won't because my remote, the battery died. A lot of people don't really realize that their remotes are battery operated or
Right.
how to get into it.
Sure.
So-
You get used to having to change batteries on a lot of different products, but you don't.
But you
always
don't think
about
your
the
garage door opener.
That's supposed to
Nope.
work forever, right?
Right.
Okay, we got to go in just a minute here, but where can people go for help with these situations? And then I want to make sure we talk a little bit about if you do need a new garage door.
Sure. So you can visit us on our website, overheaddoormadison.com. Always give us a call. Phone number 271-4288. Or, you can get service call through our website as well.
That's nice. Well, it's all on screen for you too, so if you missed it, we've got it on the bottom there. I want to make sure we say a big thank you. This is John Gradle, the general manager of Overhead Door Company of Madison, a locally owned business here. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. We appreciate it. Some Garage Door 101 for us and viewers at home. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us today, and thank you for watching. Join us next time right here on Talk of the Town.